Relying on a free VSO is the most expensive way that you could file your VA disability claim. Today I'm going to explain why, and why there's thousands, if not millions of veterans who fall for something that they think is free but ends up costing them thousands of dollars and years of their time. I'm Jordan Anderson, VA Claims Academy. This is what I'm talking about. A veteran service organization is a resource which I think is kind of a valuable resource if you use it in the right manner. More on that in a second. But it's a resource that's provided to veterans that's paid for by the taxpayer so that it's no additional cost to you or I when we utilize them to help file our VA claims. The good thing about veteran service organizations is that they can actually file your claim on your behalf using power of attorney. So you don't even have to log into va.gov to do that for yourself. Another benefit is that using their computer systems, they could actually pull your records for you, things like that. Sometimes they can't show you certain things, but a lot of times they can access way more than an unaccredited agent or someone not affiliated with the VA could. All these are great things, but here's sort of the major issue with VSOs. And for those of you who've tried to reach out to VSOs and get a hold of them, leave a comment below, see how that worked for you. But the bottom line is, right now, the current system as it stands has led to these people being overworked for whatever reason. A lot of these VSOs are really good at their job. Some of them are, really great people. But right now, there's simply too much of an influx of veterans for them to be able to give each individual the attention that they deserve. And honestly, it looks like the training as well between VSOs is inconsistent, because you can get a great VSO one day and a horrible VSO who doesn't even know basic fundamentals of VA claims the next day. There's volunteers mixed in with pretty good people. There's really no standardization. There's no consistency, it seems, which has greatly deteriorated the quality of care and service to the veterans. Now, how does this impact you? What you will find is if you, again, rely solely on a VSO oftentimes to do your entire VA claim. I'm talking about not just filing your claim for you, but I'm talking about strategizing your claim, telling you which conditions you should file for, relying on them to tell you, to write your personal statements and whatnot. That is very often overlooked. Oftentimes, you will find years down the road that you have been underrated the entire time. You've been costing your family, your household, cash each and every single month, and this could be a few $100s, it could be a couple thousands of dollars every month. So when you do the math like this, you realize that, hey, you know what? Using this VSO, I thought it was free at the time, but I over-relied. I didn't invest in my education, invest your time, or invest your cash somewhere. I didn't invest into myself, and it showed, because a VSO is probably, again, overworked. They might be a volunteer. They did enough to maybe get your foot in the door, but not maximize. And when we're talking about a tax-free passive income, that absolutely has a massive effect. A very common situation that I see with individuals who come to me after solely relying on VSOs is that there's a common theme. This throw everything at the wall and see what sticks approach that sort of lacks tact, lacks strategy. For instance, the veteran will come in there, they say, hey, okay, so what's wrong with you? Oh, well, my right knee hurts now, I have a bit of a cough, and they're just filing claims. Oh, chronic bronchitis, things like this. Even without a diagnosis sometimes, or with no feasible way to connect it to service. So the veteran feels like they're going in there, hey, they feel real good, they walk out of the office, I just filed my claim, I'm gonna get such a good rating. And when they get disappointed with their rating, now they're upset, they had their expectations mismanaged, and all of a sudden they're in the appeals process, which could take another 5 to 6 years, and they don't even win their claim after that. So that's what I don't want for you. You want to be able to file your claim the right way the first time. Most of you have heard me say this before. That's the big elephant in this room, the massive missing piece for this entire VA disability claim space is if you really want to help our fellow veterans, it's about educating them and empowering them with the knowledge, the tools, the resources to file the claim correctly the first time. Because if you think about it as an exponential curve, you can't get that tax-free income for you and your family fast enough. If we're costing these veterans what they deserve each and every month, You can never recoup that. You can never recoup 5 years of lost time, of lost income to someone's household. That's something that can affect generational wealth. It's something that can affect people's mental sanity. We even lose individuals because of this, because they feel like they are being lowballed and undervalued. This is not about gaming the system. This is about giving the veteran access to a streamlined version of the public knowledge that's already available. Veteran service organizations have the funding, have the capacity, in my opinion, to be able to do this in the future. And the point of this video is that I hope this sparks change in the training, how we train our VSOs, so they can give you better advice and help you navigate your claim more efficiently. This will help clear the backlog. The VA claims will take less time because there's less clutter, less throwing stuff at the wall, see what sticks. All this clogs up the process and makes you wait longer for your claim. It makes it possible for more raters to get fatigued, more mistakes happen. This could have a huge impact if we simply start with educating the veteran, streamlining their process. Here's the proper way to use a VSO. Again, they're a valuable free resource. I recommend utilizing a VSO that if you don't want to file your own claim, maybe you're not really good with computers or you're just not comfortable logging into va.gov, filing your claim, go ahead. Have your VSO file for you. Let them do kind of the grunt work of the actual paperwork, but give them the strategy. Definitely give them your personal statements that you want them to file. Don't rely on them to tell you that personal statements even exist, because it probably won't happen. Do the research, do enough research to check their work. You're the manager, you're the project manager of this process. They kind of work for you, so don't let them run the show. You're not gonna like where it ends up. Now, many of you are watching this video and saying, you know what, that kind of sounded like my VSO. I wonder if I'm underrated. If you've had this type of interaction in the past, here's what you do now. Definitely make sure you continue to educate yourself here on YouTube. Here, my channel, Combat Craig, there's great channels that give great advice for VA disability. Again, you want to familiarize yourself enough to check their work, even retroactively. And you need to ask yourself, hey, if I'm in the appeals process right now, did I submit good personal statements with my initial claim? Did I do a higher level review as the first escalation level of disagreement? Did I do a supplemental claim? Why am I here in this appeals process? I need you to kind of reverse engineer and ask yourself, how did I get here? And is it still worth it for me to pursue this Veteran Boards of Appeals process? Secondly, did you submit a FOIA request to pull your CNP exam results? You can actually do this. You can see what the Compensation and Pension Examiner said. Did they give you a nexus statement? Did they give you a bad DBQ? All these things are very important to troubleshoot your case, troubleshoot your VA claim, and ultimately you need to, because otherwise people are just going to string you along for years and years, and you're going to get caught in the system. Which ultimately, people think that, even the claim sharks that charge 15 grand, I got billed 15 grand for my VA claim help. That's awful. But this, using the existing system, can cost you tens of thousands of dollars and years of your time. Bottom line, I'll leave you with this. Do your own research. This is probably the most important income to you and your household that you will ever have. It's not every day you get a tax-free passive pension, essentially. Those words almost don't even go together. Invest in yourself, do the research, your household will thank you. And again, it's something that can trigger absolute generational wealth. So it's a big deal. You are worth it. Invest into yourself. Don't let a VSO run the show. Don't let anyone run the show. This is your life and you earned it. Cheers.